Hello friends, in today's video I am going to talk about PCOS management. When we talk about the PCOS management, we can broadly classify it into three categories. They are your pharmacological, non-pharmacological and surgical. So I will be focusing on non-pharmacological. Now when I say non-pharmacological, as the name suggests, it is without drugs, what all things we can do to improve the condition. So the first things which comes in mind is your lifestyle modification. Now, what is lifestyle modification? First, we need to understand that what are the changes we have made as a women we have made in our lifestyle which has lead to these kind of hormonal problems so common. Now the women initially they have come out of the traditional, now no more they are doing stick to only traditional method of working. They have come out of it, they are into more hectic, more time consuming, more demanding kind of jobs. So as a result, the traveling time has increased, the sitting time has increased, the screen time has increased, then coming back to home late, then it is definitely so exhausted and tired, not able to cook a proper wholesome meal, and spending less time with the family, less time in the kitchen, and less investment in themselves, in their upliftment. As a result, there is a lot of imbalance and disharmony between the hormones of our body, which leads to problems like PCOS. Now it's not only the women, even the young girls also. They cut down their physical activities and they sit for long, prepare for the exams. There is no harm in doing that, but in between we need to take short breaks, do some kind of physical activity. So the girls are doing like that. They are binging on the ready to eat food, packed food, convenience food, because they wake up till late night during exams or during some preparations. If they are staying in the hostel, relying on the canteen food. Then if staying alone in the PG, they are relying on the office canteen. So all this, where so much of mindful preparation is not done, keeping the nutritive value of the food intact. Just the taste is good, we get it, and time is not there so much to spend on cooking a wholesome meal. As a result, it starts taxing our body after some years. So these all changes. Now definitely we cannot change, we cannot stop going to work, we cannot stop studying, we cannot stop going to office or doing our work. Now what are the things we can do? We can do few necessary changes, small changes, which will definitely change the lifestyle and change the problems which arises because of that. Now the changes, which few right things we are supposed to do, includes your right diet, right exercise, right sleep, right attitude towards life. Now today I will be talking about the right diet. Now when I say right diet, what does it mean? I mean, if someone is diagnosed with PCOS, every second person will come and advise with you a list of diets. Don't go for all that. There is nothing called low carb, or don't eat this, don't eat that. Don't listen to all. Eat whatever is freshly prepared at home, wholesome meal. Eat frequent meals. Eat whenever you get up in the morning. Within half hour, have something. Have some fruit. Have one fruit early morning. Include dry fruits. Okay, and eat seasonal food. Eat local food. Eat food which makes you feel light. And stop eating before the stomach is totally full. So that are the signals, that pattern you have to follow. Now what to eat? So wholesome, when I say wholesome grains like wheat, rice, jowar, bajra, ragi, chapati, made of chapati, paratha, you can have it. These kind of foods, the carbohydrate food. Don't have refined flour food like maida, processed food items, pizza, pasta, that we can avoid. But these the desi food items, definitely we can have. Then food rich in protein. Now food rich in protein, when I say milk and milk products, paneer, cheese, fish, egg, all these things you can add. Rich protein food is very essential in case of PCOS. Fiber, things which are like salads, include more salads. Even the whole grains, what I told you, provides fiber to your body, which reduces slows down the release of glucose or sugar in the body. So low glycemic index we say. So that's good for the PCOS women. Then comes your, the foods, like the foods which says no fat, low fat. Don't go for those kind of things, because these kind of packed foods which is on the available on the shelf, ready to eat food with the claim to be having rich of nutrition, lack those important fatty acids which are essential for the absorption of fat soluble vitamins like A, D, E, K, and all of you know that vitamin D, which is very essential for your the good bones, strong bones. And women, as a women, when we age, when we reach menopause, post menopause, the bone density reduces. So we need to have the vitamin D is very, very essential, and that's why you need to have essential fats in your body for the absorption of these fat soluble vitamins. Then food rich in omega-3 fatty acids, like you have sesame, you have flax seeds, walnut. These are rich. Even ghee you can include in your diet. Then you have another food is like your the micro minerals like zinc, chromium. These are essential for your body, that also should be included. More of vegetables, more of fruits has to be included. And what is less is your less saturated fats, less amount of sugar, then low intake of sodium. These are these things we have to keep in mind. Otherwise, if these basic guidelines if you follow, you can have whatever you want. Okay, now according to health experts, these all things are included in a diet protocol called as DASH, that is your DASH. So where the D stands for dietary approach to stop hypertension. Now these DASH diets had the items which is required to stop hypertension, and which will prevent the cardiac diseases, and which will prevent your insulin resistance. That's what happens in your PCOS also. So this DASH kind of protocol is very, very important and very helpful in case of PCOS. This DASH diet is whatever I told you just now: wholesome grains, then proteins, then more of vegetables, and more of fruits. Then you have low fat, and then less of sugar, and then less of salt. So this is about the DASH diet, and I told you how frequently you have to take. And if you make these kind of necessary changes, definitely things will be more better, and you will not be feeling guilty of starving yourself. What you should not do is don't go for crash dieting or for starving, which is not sustainable. We will be doing for a few days, we'll look toned for a few days, and again we'll be back to the normal, back to the previous state. So why not make the changes which will last long, which you can make part of your daily routine, and follow the diet which is fresh, home, freshly prepared, and which is which is wholesome meal, at least once in a day. Make sure at least once in a day you have this wholesome meal in peace, balanced diet at home, and cooked food at home. Okay, hope these tips will help you. See you in the next video. Bye. Thank you.